Welcome, my woodland wanderers, to Fox in the Forest, a competitive trick-taking card game for 2 players. Let's get started. During the game, your goal is to reach one of the brackets here on the scoring matrix. So, as there are 13 tricks acquired throughout the game, they must go to either one player or the other. As in the fairy tales of old, earning 0 to 3 tricks across the course of the game renders you a very humble sort. And you are not too greedy. You are all the best qualities of the fairy tale characters of old. Unfortunately, once you begin expending out of that and trying, but failing, you end up in the defeated bracket from 4 to 6 tricks. You tried, but you didn't quite get there. Of course, between 4 to 6 means your opponent has acquired between 7 and 9 tricks, meaning that they were victorious in their quest. A very important quality. But be wary of earning too many tricks for yourself. If you find yourself between 10 and 13 tricks, you have proven yourself greedy. You wanted to take too much for yourself and too much away from your opponent, your humble opponent. Since you scored between 10 and 13, that of course necessitates that your opponent was humble and took only between 0 and 3 tricks. So, it is a very interesting balancing act, not to take too many tricks, but you may decide over the course of the game if you are doing very well, you may end up doing too well, or if you are not doing so well, you may take some opportunities to sabotage your opponent, to give them a trick, and force them to become the greedy villain of all of the good fairy tales. There are 33 cards in Fox in the Forest, 11 in each suit. The moon, the key, and the bells. Cards range from 1 to 11, and each has a special ability. The swans allow you to lead the next trick, even if you lose. The fox allows you to exchange the decree card from one of your own, potentially giving you many more trump cards, or forcing your opponent, if they are already winning, to have even more trump cards in their hand. The lumberjack, or woodcutter, which allows you to draw the top card of the draw pile in exchange for one of your own into the discard. The treasure, which scores you extra points. The witch, which acts as a trump card, even if it is not, and as long as it is the only witch played. And finally, the monarch, which, if led, forces your opponent to play either the one of that suit or the highest card of that suit, weakening their hand. To begin, 13 cards are dealt to each player, with the non-dealer beginning the show. Once all cards are dealt, top card of the draw pile is revealed, indicating the trump card, the trump suit. The decree, or trump suit, indicates which card wins in the event that 2 cards of a different suit are played, in most cases. All right. My canine companion, let's get started. She has played a swan, which entitles her to begin the next trick regardless of what I play. So, I take this trick, but because of her swan, she begins the next. This card, the treasure, allows whoever takes the trick to take 1 additional point, allowing them to score more at the end of the game. I have nothing to counter with, and unfortunately, I'm forced to give my opponent the treasure, in addition to the trick. A cunning maneuver. She has played the Fox, which allows her to swap out the Decree card with one from her own hand, potentially changing the suit or giving her a somewhat powerful Lumberjack card in the process. I am still forced to follow. I will do what little I can and take this trick. But now, the key is the Decree, allowing it to operate as the trump cards. I play the Monarch, which will force her to, if she has any moon cards, play either the 1 or the highest moon card she has, potentially giving me a rather good one. Taking it out of her hand, rather. Unfortunately, my companion has outsmarted me. She has played the Witch, which allows her to play this 9, since it is the only 9 in effect here, as the Decree suit, which in effect allows her to take this hand, denying me of a powerful Witch, and, well, putting her in a much better position than she was. And she leads the next round as well. Well. She has played the Woodcutter, allowing her to exchange or draw the top card and then exchange one of hers, possibly a weak card, possibly a strong card. It depends on what she's going for. One of her own. So, I, in response, play the Monarch. Fortunately, it was not lead, so it has no special effect, but it's still the highest. So I take the trick, and I'm hopefully one step closer to victory. Now she has led the Monarch. If your opponent has a key, they must play either the 1 or their highest. Which for me was a rather powerful 8, and unfortunately this was also trump. She takes the trick and leads again. Another special card which allows her to draw from the top of the deck and exchange one of her own cards, discard one of her own cards to the bottom. I play a Treasure in response, taking the trick and securing 1 point. Now I lead. Play my bell. But, unfortunately, as she has run out of bells, she is allowed to play whatever she darn well pleases. And she has played a trump suit, bringing her very close to victory. But she's played right into my hand. She's played a Treasure, and I am able to defeat it, securing me another point. Yes. Well, as she has played trump, I cannot follow. I played a moon, and she takes the trick. And of course, she has yet another witch. So regardless of what I had played, her bevy of witches allows her to take yet another trick. And I believe I have been defeated. We tally up our tricks to conclude. I have ended with 5, which puts me squarely in the defeated bracket. That, by default, means that she has acquired 8 tricks of her own, rendering her victorious. Outfoxed, once again. Fox in the Forest is a delightful 2-player game. It plays in 30 minutes to acquire 21 points, and is suitable for ages 10 and up, but for clever young foxes, is suitable as young as ages 7, as the premise is fairly simple. If you are delighted in more woodland gaming, Fox in the Forest Duet is a wonderful cooperative game which takes the trick-taking element but renders it cooperative, allowing players to move up and down a forest path as they collect gems and try to keep the fairies of the deep, dark forest from closing in around them.